Me the host, I can take over from this. Yeah. Hello everyone. I hope all of you are able to hear my voice. Can someone confirm? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, thank you so much. In another minute, I'm going to start with my presentation. Ma'am, please make me the host so that I can share the screen. Thank you, ma'am. In the meanwhile, I'll also have to admit 1 second. Yeah, I'll share the screen. Yeah, is the screen shared? Yeah, now I think the screen is shared, right?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Okay. Another minute and we'll start off with the presentation. First of all, I would like to thank my teacher, Sumitra ma'am, who has given me this wonderful opportunity to address you all. As Madam said, I'm Dr. Narahari N. I'm the head of the Department of Mathematics of University College of Science, Tumku University, Tumkuru. And I take the honor of being the presenter of this particular session. This session is going to be an eye-opener for all of you who are very much keen to take up the JAM examination, which is going to be, as you all know, an entrance examination to get into some of the premier institutes in India, such as IITs and NITs and many such institutions for master's degree. So I'm going to give you a brief introduction about the whole process, which will have to be followed for you to take up the JAM examination. And as Madam said, the next session would be taken over by Sumitra Madam herself, where she would be giving you an idea as to how the questions on JAM mathematics would be. To begin with, I'm going to give you a general overview of the JAM examination, but towards the end of my session, I would be concentrating mainly on mathematics because I'm basically from mathematics background. For all the other information, you will be able to get all the information from the JAM website and from the brochures available. I'm going to give you all the details further, right? And at any point of time, if you want any inputs from my side, if you're not able to follow what I'm saying, probably you can put in a message in the chat box. I'll try to address your query right then, right? So without wasting further time, we'll begin with the session today. So to begin with, as I said, JAM, the full form of JAM is Joint Admission Test for Masters. Earlier it was called MSc, but right now it will not just be called MSc because it will also take you through many other master's degree programs also. That's the reason it is just called a Joint Admission Test for Masters. And it began in the year 2004-2005, a common entrance test to get into various IITs and many such premier institutions. So this is being conducted to provide admissions to MSc, joint MSc PhD, dual degree and integrated PhD programs. And JAM has been established as a benchmark for the undergraduate level science education in the whole country. Right now, this year, that is the coming year, JAM 2022, this is being organized by IIT Roorkee. And as you can see, this is the website which will take you to IIT Roorkee home page, JAM examination. So if you click on that, you will be landed onto the home page as such, and then you will be given further information. Yeah, Bhairavi, if you have any questions? Right. So this is the home page, JAM 2022. So all the information regarding JAM will be available on this particular website. In fact, whatever information I'm going to share, most of it is taken from the same website itself. Going ahead, the examination is conducted only in online mode as a computer-based test, which is shortly called CBT. And JAM 2022 will have 7 different papers: biotechnology, chemistry, economics, geology, mathematics, mathematical sciences, and physics. These are the 7 papers for which the JAM examination will be conducted. Going further, all these papers are of entirely objective type. So there will be no descriptive type questions at all. And altogether, there are going to be 3 different patterns of questions, namely multiple choice questions, shortly known as MCQ, multiple select questions, shortly known as MSQ, and numerical answer type questions, shortly known as NEAT. I'm going to touch upon each of these very soon. I'll explain as to what each of them mean later on. So going further, applications are accepted only online through the JAM 2022 website, which I showed you earlier. Even if you do not remember the complete website address, just go to Google and simply type JAM 2002 website, and you'll be getting so many links, out of which the first link will directly lead you to this website itself. And no hard copies of documents are to be sent to the organizing institute. Remember that the whole admission process of JAM is done online. So right from the application till the results and admissions, all these are going to happen online itself. And for everything that you have to do, you'll have to refer to the website itself. So in particular, the documents to be uploaded are also supposed to be uploaded online to the application website only. And no additional requirements such as suitability test or interview needed for admission are needed for admission to the master's degree. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, this entrance is not only for master's degree, it's also applicable for joint PhD, joint MSc PhD programs, integrated programs also. Particularly when it comes to the integrated program at IISc, a separate interview is scheduled for you to get into IISc as such. And JAM 2022 is open to all nationals, Indian or foreign. I think the audience is only comprising of Indian students. So that is particularly applicable to all Indian students, obviously. And there's absolutely no age restriction for you to take up the examination. And for, I think this is not needed because it's only applicable for foreign students. To apply for admission to a desired program, a candidate is required to qualify in the relevant test paper and also satisfy the minimum educational qualifications and eligibility requirements of the concerned academic program. I'm going to go in detail about this further. The candidates who have either appeared or are due to appear in the final examination of their qualifying degree are also eligible to appear in JAM 2022. That means, say that even if you have not completed your basic degree, even if you are still in your final-year basic degree program, you are still eligible to apply for JAM. And if you have already qualified, even then you are eligible to apply for JAM 2022. Now, looking at the institutes which take admissions through JAM, as I said, a majority of IITs take up admissions through JAM. Particularly, as you can see, Bhilai, Bhubaneswar, Bombay, Delhi, Dhanbad, Gandhinagar, Guwahati, Hyderabad, Indore, Jodhpur, Kanpur, Kharagpur, Madras, Mandi, Palakkad, Patna, Roorkee, Ropar, Tirupati, Varanasi. These are the IITs which take up admissions for masters through JAM. And IISc also will take you through JAM as long as you're applying for integrated PhD program at IISc. And very importantly, some of the NITs, National Institute of Technologies, IIEST, Shibpur, and then SLIET Punjab, and many IISERs, these are also going to offer admissions through taking up the JAM scores as such. But for more details, you will have to visit this particular website, ccmn.admissions.nic.in. So this is the link which will help you to see as to how to get into NITs and many such institutions through or considering the JAM score as such. Moving further, this is a very important slide. This will tell you all the details about the JAM examination. So February 13, 2022, which is going to be a Sunday, is the day on which you will have the JAM examination. It will be held in 2 sessions. One session, the first session, will be happening in the morning, wherein biotechnology, mathematical statistics, and physics candidates who have taken up these subjects are going to write their tests during the morning session, and correspondingly, chemistry, economics, geology, and mathematics. Those who are taking up these subjects are supposed to take up the test in the afternoon session. And as you can see, this obviously means that a candidate who is taking up, say, biotechnology can also take up mathematics, wherein he or she would be writing a test for biotech in the morning and mathematics in the afternoon. Likewise, a person can take up physics in the morning and economics in the afternoon and so on. However, a person who is taking up chemistry cannot take mathematics in parallel because both are held in the same time slot. Likewise, someone who is taking up mathematical statistics cannot take up physics, right? Going further, August 30th, 2021, which has already happened. This is the date from which the online registration and application process has been commenced on the JAM 2022 website. And the last date for online application is going to be October 11, 2021. So this is the last day. Remember, this is the last date on which you will be able to apply for JAM 2022. And this will also be the last date for you to upload all the documents on the website as such. Moving further, January 4, 2022 would be the date from which you'll be able to download the JAM admit cards. And as I mentioned earlier, February 13, 2022 is the date on which the JAM test will be conducted, JAM examination will be conducted. And March 22nd, 2022 will be the date on which the results of JAM 2022 will be announced. Yeah, this is to just give you an idea as to how the seat matrix would be. I'm giving you a few examples. For example, when it comes to IIT Bhilai, it's going to offer an MSc program in chemistry, mathematics and computing, and physics. And for you to take up chemistry, you will have to write chemistry. You will have to take up chemistry test as such. And if you want to take up mathematics and computing, you will have to take up mathematics. And if you have to take up physics MSc, then you will have to write physics test as such. And accordingly, the number of seats available, as you can see, is reflected here. There are going to be 12 number of seats for chemistry, 12 seats for mathematics, and 12 seats for physics. And in this, there is going to be a reservation also. So as you can see, there are going to be 4 seats for general category for chemistry, 5 seats for mathematics, and 5 plus 1. Here, 1 star represents a seat for those who are physically handicapped. So if there is a candidate who is physically handicapped, then he or she can claim a separate reservation and a general here. Otherwise, there are going to be 5 general seats. Likewise, if a person belongs to SC, then he or she will have as such 2 seats for chemistry, 1 seat for mathematics, and 2 seats for physics. And if a person belongs to ST category, this is going to be the reservation. Likewise, each institute has a separate list of courses, and correspondingly, the number of seats for each course, each test paper as such. So, for example, IIT Bombay is going to offer an MSc as well as an MSc PhD dual degree program, and accordingly, these are the number of seats available. So, you will be able to get all the details pertaining to each and every such institute of admissions through JAM if you visit the JAM website. These are some of such institutes as such. I'm not going to show you all these seat matrices in detail. I'm going to go further because I do not have too much of time. Moving further, yeah, results sharing institutes and programs. As I mentioned earlier, this particular entrance test is not only to get into masters, it's also applicable to get into integrated PhD programs. Particularly IIT Bengaluru or IIT Bangalore is going to offer 4 different programs, integrated PhD programs in biological sciences, chemical sciences, mathematical sciences, and physical sciences. And for that to be taken up, you will have to take up, for example, if you want to take up an integrated PhD program in mathematical sciences, you'll have to either take up the mathematics paper or mathematical statistics paper. Similarly, if you want to take up integrated PhD in chemical sciences, either you will have to write chemistry or physics test paper. And if you want to take up integrated PhD in physical sciences, then you will have to take up physics test paper, and so on and so forth. And for programs listed in the above table, the admissions will not be directly based on the JAM 2022 score. For you to get into IITs, the JAM score would be the only criteria based on which you will have to get into IITs. But for you to get into IISc for integrated PhD program, you will also have to take up a separate interview, and Before that, you will be screened based on your JAM scores. I hope you have understood what I'm saying. Yeah, what are the eligibility requirements for admission? All candidates admitted through JAM should have a bachelor's degree. This is the primary criteria. And the aggregate marks or CGPA, cumulative grand point average, without rounding off, should be at least 55% or 5.5 out of 10 for general or OBC. And there's a relaxation for SC, ST or persons with disability. For them, the aggregate would be at least 50% or 5.0 for 10. And foreign nationals are also eligible to apply subject to the admitting institute's policy. And for candidates with letter grades or CGPA, the equivalence in percentage of marks will be decided by the admitting institute. What they are trying to say here is that some of the institutes, instead of giving scores, they're going to give grades. So if you want to get into the IITs, a particular IIT based on the grades, then the corresponding IIT will decide as to what will be the cutoff, and based on that, they're going to admit you for MSc. Next, where all is the JAM examination going to be conducted? There are going to be 8 different zones, particularly IIT Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, IIT Guwahati, and likewise IIT Kanpur, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Madras, IIT Roorkee. These are the 8 zones where the exams are conducted. And in these zones, there are going to be various cities coming under these zones. For example, for IIT Bangalore, there are going to be these many cities where the exams are going to be conducted: Belagavi, Bengaluru, Bidar, Gulbarga or Kalburgi, Hassan, Hubballi, Hyderabad, Kannur, Kozhikode, Mangaluru, Mysore, Palakkad, Shivamogga, Thrissur, and Vatakara. These are the different cities where the test will be conducted under IIT Bangalore zone. Similarly, for example, when it comes to IIT Delhi zone, Faridabad, Greater Noida, Gurugram or Gurgaon, Hisar, Indore, Jaipur, Jammu, Jind, Jodhpur, Mathura, New Delhi, Srinagar. These are the places where these are the places where the test is conducted under IIT Delhi zone. Likewise, there are going to be 8 different zones, as you can see here. So these are different zones. Then what is going to be the application fee? If you are a female candidate or an SC or an ST or a person with disability, then if you are taking up one test paper, you will have to pay a fees of rupees 750. And if you are taking 2 test papers, you are going to pay rupees 1050. And if you do not fall into any of these categories, then you will have to pay rupees 1500 if you are taking up 1 test paper. And if you are taking up 2 test papers, you will have to pay 2100 rupees. Of course, if you want to change or add a test paper, that means to say that suppose you have applied online for 1 paper, and after a little time, if you want to add in 1 more paper, then you can also do that. Or if you want to change the paper altogether, then you can also do that. But for that, you will have to pay an additional fee, as you can see in this table. So for example, if you do not belong to the first set of categories, female, SC, ST, or physically person with disability, then if you want to add 1 paper, then you have to pay an extra fees of 600 rupees. But if you want to change 1 paper altogether, then you will have to pay 1500 rupees, right? And if you have already taken up 2 test papers, and if you want to change 1 paper, then you will have to pay 600 rupees. And if you have to change both the papers, then you will have to pay rupees 2100 rupees. Okay, so these are the different fees that you will have to pay if you want to change or add a particular test paper. And there is also a provision for you to change the, once again, I'm not able to visualize as to what this is. Yeah, so if you want to change the category or gender, then again, if by mistake, if you have put in a wrong gender during the application, then you will be able to change the gender, or you can also change the category. And for that to happen, these are going to be the fees. For further details, you can refer to the website itself. And candidates who have wrongly entered the category or gender will be allowed to change the category or gender on the portal itself with an additional fee. And all such candidates are supposed to do this on or before October 21, 2021. So you will not be given a lot of time. So if you want to change any of these things, that can be done only before 2021, October 21st. Next, when it comes to earlier you would have seen as to what institute is offering what course. Now the other way around, if you're particularly taking up, if you want to take up a particular course, you will also be able to see as to what are the different IITs which are going to offer a particular course. I've only taken up the case where the subject is mathematics. So if you have to take up mathematics, then if you want to take up MSc mathematics, then these are the different institutes that are offering MSc mathematics. For example, IIT JM, Gandhinagar, IIT D, so there is absolutely no condition taken up mathematics in at least . Hello, am I audible?
Yes, audible.
I'm sorry, ma'am. There was some technical issue. Yeah, going further, these are the different institutes offering MSc in mathematics, and this is the eligibility criteria when it comes to educational qualifications. And as you can see here, for example, when it comes to IIT Kanpur, you need to have a bachelor's degree in mathematics or at least 30% of the total courses in bachelor's degree for you to take up MSc mathematics in IIT Kanpur. And when it comes to +2 level, there is absolutely no restriction. You could have studied any course as such, but as long as this criteria is met, you will be able to get into MSc mathematics in this particular institute. So this way, each course is offered by various institutes, so you will get all this information if you visit the website itself. So I'm not going to go in detail with this. Going further, from this point onwards, I will be concentrating mainly on mathematics as such. So to talk about the syllabus, these are the broad areas which are considered for the syllabus of mathematics as such: sequences and series of real numbers, functions of one variable, functions of 2 or 3 real variables, integral calculus, differential equations, matrices, finite dimensional vector spaces, and groups. These are the broader topics. If you want to look into each and every topic as such, when it comes to sequences and series of real numbers, before going further, remember that there's a little change in the syllabus from this year onwards. Earlier, there were further more topics. There was one topic on real analysis particularly, but here it is changed, and some of the contents have been added and modified further. So be a little careful when it comes to the syllabus this year. So going further, when it comes to sequences and series of real numbers, you have sequences and series of real numbers, convergence of sequences, bounded and monotone sequences, Cauchy sequences, test for convergence for series, for comparison test, ratio test, root test, and so on, and then radius and interval of convergence, and term-wise integration and differentiation of power series, and functions of one real variable, limit, continuity, intermediate value property, differentiation, various mean value theorems, Taylor series, maxima, minima, Riemann integration, and so on. Functions of 2 or 3 real variables, limits, continuity, partial derivatives, total derivatives, maxima and minima, integral calculus, double and triple integrals, change of order of integration, surface areas and volumes using double integrals, and calculating volumes using triple integrals, and differential equations, Bernoulli's equation, exact differential equation. These are differential equations of first order, integrating factors, orthogonal trajectories, and then method of separation of variables, linear differential equation with constant coefficients. This is applicable for differential equations of second and higher order. Then method of variation parameters and so on. Then matrices, you begin with this is solving systems of linear equations, rank nullity theorem, inverse determinant, eigenvalues, eigenvectors, and when it comes to vector spaces, linear independence of vectors, basis, dimension, linear transformation, null space, rank nullity theorem, and so on. Then groups, cyclic groups, abelian groups, non-abelian groups, permutation groups, normal subgroups, and then quotient groups, Lagrange's theorem, and group homomorphisms. And when it comes to linear algebra, already discussed. This is it's the same thing. Sorry, I think this slide is not. I said this was for the last year. It's not there for this year. These were the two different topics which I explicitly mentioned in the syllabus, but this is now submerged into the previous set of topics. Dimensional vector space and matrices. These two are taken up instead of linear algebra, and this is altogether taken out altogether. Right? So this is a change that has happened in the syllabus as such. Now,
linear algebra is not included.
I'm sorry.
So is linear algebra not included?
Linear algebra title is removed, but content whatever is taken into previous two topics, namely matrices and finite dimensional vector spaces. So the titles are changed. That's it. But the content is almost the same. As you can see here, you have rank nullity theorem, linear independence of vectors, basis, dimension, linear transformations, range space, null space, rank nullity theorem. All these are there, but as two different topics as such, matrices and finite dimensional vector spaces. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Moving ahead, I'll now talk about the test pattern. As mentioned earlier, the whole test is conducted online using a virtual calculator, and the duration of the test would be 3 hours. And the medium of instruction is only English. Okay. And the total number of questions will be 60. I'm going to tell you how these questions are going to be there a little further. And the total number of marks for which you will be writing the test would be 100 marks. And of course, for you to work out problems, you give a scribble examination. It's not virtual, it's going to be a physical scribble pad is going to be given, but you will have to be using only one scribble pad at a time. And using the one scribble pad, you'll have to return the scribble pad and you'll be given another scribble pad for you to write down if you want to write anything. But at the end of the examination, you'll be taken back. You'll have to return the scribble pad as such. Now, we'll look at the paper pattern. As I mentioned earlier, there will be ultimately 60 questions. These 60 questions are subdivided into 3 types. Section A, MCQs. MCQ stands for multiple choice questions. They're going to be 30 questions altogether. Section B will be SQ, multiple select questions, and they're going to be 10 questions. And section C would be NAT, which stands for numeric answer type question. They're going to be questions. Now, going in detail, section A, which is for SQ, MCQ questions, will be for 50 marks. Section B will be for 20 marks. And section C will be for 30 marks. In particular, when it comes to section A, as mentioned earlier, there are going to be 3 MCQs. And out of these 30 questions, there are going to be 10 questions carrying 1 mark each, and that comes to 10 marks. And the other 20 questions will be for 2 marks each, and that comes to 40 marks. As you can see, put together, there are going to be 30 questions for 50 marks. under section E. Yeah, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Each MCQ has 4 choices, out of which only one is going to be correct. And each wrong answer for a 1 mark question will result in a 1/3 negative mark. And each wrong answer for a 2 marks question will result in 2/3 negative mark. So there is going to be negative marking here. So you'll have to be very careful picking answers in section A. Moving on, when it comes to section B, there are going to be 10 questions in section B. And this is a multiple select question. Each question here is going to be a multiple select question. What do you mean by multiple select question? It is very much similar to a MCQ, but the difference is that there may be one or more correct choices. What it means is that when it comes to MCQs, there is going to be only one correct choice. But when it comes to MSQs, the number of correct choices could be one or more than that. So that means that there could be only one correct choice. There could be 2 correct choices. There could be 3 correct choices. And there could be also 4 correct choices as such. And full marks will be awarded for any question only if all the correct choices are selected and no wrong choices selected. That means to say that if suppose for a particular question, choice A and choice C are correct, then if you choose both choice A and choice C only, then you will be given full marks. So if you choose only one choice, say A, and if you do not choose C, you will be given a 0. And if you choose A, C, and say D, then you will again be given a 0. So there is no negative marking and there will be no partial marking provisions under section B. And a total of 20 marks is awarded. As you can see here, there are going to be 10 questions, 2 marks each, and that comes to 20 marks for section B. Moving further, the last section, section C, will be containing 20 questions and these are numerical answer type questions. And in this, there are going to be 10 questions carrying 1 mark each and 10 questions carrying 2 marks each. And in this, the answer for each such question is going to be a signed real number. What do you mean by signed real number? It can be any real number which could be positive or negative, and it could be 0 as well, right? And the answer that you are supposed to give will be considered in a range. What I mean to say is that suppose the answer is say minus 1.5, then the range for this will be between -2 and -1. For example, so if you give any answer between -2 and -1, it will be considered as right. And that range is specified by the institute itself. So if you are giving the correct answer within that particular range, you will be given full marks. And no choice will be shown here. It will be like a fill in a blanks question, and there will be no negative marking provisions as such. And there will be totally 30 marks for all these questions. So 10 marks here and 20 marks, totally 30 marks for section C. Right? So this is how the paper pattern would be. And now quickly moving ahead, just before that, ma'am, do I have some more time? Sumitra ma'am?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
5:32, now it is 6:10.
Okay, let me check now.
Yeah,
If
it will give
there
only
is
40
an
minutes. Then
interruption,
again,
okay, I'll
students
get
have to join.
clarification. Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you. So yeah, coming to the ranked merit list, for each test paper, there is going to be an all India rank that is going to be assigned for all the appeared candidates, whether whatever score they have got, each of the appeared candidates will get a particular rank, which is called the all India rank for each test paper as such. And for each test paper, there is going to be a merit list that is going to be prepared based on the rank, and that is also based on the number of seats available in each category. And these candidates who come under this merit list are eligible to apply for admission to any of the corresponding academic programs are available at IITs and IISc. And only candidates who qualify in JAM 2022. I repeat, only candidates who qualify in JAM 2022. That means whose names appear in the merit list will be eligible to apply for admission to any of the academic programs available at IITs. And remember here, this is only the eligibility criteria. That means if you qualify in JAM 2022, you're only eligible to apply for admission. But your application is not straight away considered as admission straight away. There's going to be a whole process as such. Okay, what's the process? The process is going to be explained here. So after the results, the qualified candidate must apply online using the prescribed admission form available in the portal, irrespective of the IITs where the admission is sought. And there is a particular time frame specifically told as such. And once the application is made and the application is submitted, there the candidate will also have to choose the order of program preferences based on the eligibility requirements and minimum eligibility qualifications. Okay, so based on that, he or she will have to make the fill the admission form, but also choose the order of preferences. Ma'am?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, can you go back slide?
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, I have
This
doubt in a
one?
back slide.
Which slide as such?
Back side.
Which information is what you is the thing that you are looking for?
Sir,
Is
in the
it-
back side slide, you have told that the admission will be given.
Huh.
Not,
I think this
not
is the slide that I'm.
next to
This
next
one,
to
right?
this. Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, tell me.
The third one and fourth. This.
Yeah, the candidates whose names appear in the merit list are eligible to apply for admission to any of the corresponding academic programs available at IITs and ISC. Any particular information that has to be given? Any explanation further needed?
Yes, sir. I need it, sir.
Yeah, basically this means that as long as your name comes in the merit list, you are eligible to apply for admission to the corresponding program. For example, if you have taken up mathematics, say, then you'll be able to apply for MSc Mathematics or corresponding courses for which you are eligible at the respective IITs and IISc. Okay, so for that to be done, as I mentioned here, you will have to apply online using the prescribed admission form available in the portal. And during that, what you are supposed to do is, as you can see here, you will have to choose the order of program preferences based on the criteria, eligibility criteria. What it means is, suppose you want to take up an MSc in mathematics, say, and there are various institutes which are offering MSc in mathematics. Then you will have to list out as to which institute you are preferring to get into MSc Mathematics. Right? For example, IIT Kanpur is offering MSc Mathematics and IIT Roper is offering IIT Roper is offering MSc Mathematics. So suppose you are willing to get into IIT Kanpur, then you will have to choose IIT Kanpur as a first preference and IIT Roper as a second preference. Got it?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. So this is how you have to do that, and the whole process has to be done by paying rupees 600, which is going to be the processing fee as such. Once you are done with this, based on the order of preference that is given and the corresponding ranks in the merit list, there is going to be a first admission list for each program, and that will be announced by the 1st of June on the website. And once this first list is declared, the intimation will be sent by the organizing institute for each of the candidates. Okay, and once you receive the intimation, you will have to pay an advance seat booking fee. Remember this, you'll have to pay a seat booking fees of rupees 10,000 for general, OBC, NCL, non-creamy layer or EWS category, and rupees 5,000 for SC, ST, physically persons with the disability category, online through the website. within the deadline mentioned in the offer letter. So the organizing institute is going to send you an intimation letter mentioning the deadline, and accordingly you will have to pay an advance seat booking fee for you to get into that particular institute. And this amount, whatever booking fee that you are paying, this amount will be transferred to the corresponding admitting institute, and that will be adjusted against the institute fee during the time of registration. Any questions in this? Okay, looks like there's no question. So once this is done, if any seat remains vacant after the first admission process is over, then the organizing institute is going to prepare a second admission list. And once the second admission list is ready, then once again, an intimation is sent to each eligible candidate as such, and the same admission process is going to be repeated. And even after the second admission list is done, and if suppose some of the seats remain vacant, then once again there is going to be a third admission list, and once again corresponding respective students will be intimated by the institute. And even after that, suppose any seat remains vacant, then there's going to be a fourth and final admission list, and students who are in this list will be intimated by the institute, and intimation will be sent, and the admission process is supposed to be taken forward. So this is the whole process. And with the fourth and final admission list, the admission process based on JAM 2022 will be ending. This will be the final step when it comes to the admission process. And once the list is over and you have already chosen the institute and you have booked the fee, then correspondingly you have to respectively go to the corresponding institute and finally pay the fees and get into that particular course. This is going to be the whole process. Okay, so these are some of the aspects that have to be looked into when it comes to the admission process. And for your reference, these are the websites corresponding to the major institutes. These are the major zones, as I mentioned earlier. For 8 zones, these are the corresponding websites, and these are the corresponding mail IDs. So if you have any queries regarding the whole process, then you'll be able to send communications based on these mail IDs. And once again, these mail IDs, all this information is available on the website. So as long as you visit the website and download the brochure, you get all these inputs from the brochure itself. And one last set of slides, just to tell you as to how what the cutoff would be. As you can see, these are the cutoff marks for each of the subjects for JAM 2021. For example, in mathematics, 24.69 was the cutoff for general, 22.22 was the cutoff for OBC, non-creamy layer, and 12.35 was the cutoff for SC, ST, or persons with disability. So as long as a candidate has scored these many marks in general, he or she will come under the merit list, and ultimately from that onwards, the first merit list, second merit list, and so on will be done as such. Similarly, this is the cutoff in each of the subjects for JAM 2020, and this was a cutoff for JAM 2019, and so on. With this, I'm going to end with my presentation, but before that, I will try to answer a few questions. Yeah, sir, I'm now studying in first year BSc. Can I write the JAM examination in 2022? No, only if you are in the final year of your basic degree program, or if you have cleared your basic degree program, only then you will be eligible to take up the examination. So as you have rightly mentioned, you will be able to take up the JAM examination only in 2023 if you are in the first year. And is this the CGPA percentage, sir? I didn't get it. Sorry. Yashas, can you elaborate on your question?
No, sir. You were showing the cutoff marks, so I was just want to ask.
No. This is not a CGPA. It was a cutoff based on the JAM scores as such.
Oh, okay.
Brinda. Okay, fine. Any further questions? I'd be happy to answer a few questions at this point.
So one more. It's the same process for the other subjects, and you can also pick just one if you want to follow on that, right?
Definitely. It's exactly the same process for all the subjects. I have taken up only mathematics because that is my domain, and it's basically an example to show you as to how the whole process happens. Yeah, there is one more question from Kiran. Sir, is there any online course available and how to start our preparation? Yeah, as Sumitra madam already mentioned, just after this particular orientation program, we are planning to conduct a particular training program for you to take up JAM examination. So if you are willing to attend the training program, you may do so, and that will probably help you out as to how to take up the JAM examination. Otherwise, see, as you have seen the syllabus, the whole syllabus is ultimately based on what you have learned in your bachelor's degree, right? So as long as you prepare well with your basic degree syllabus, and if you look into the previous year question papers and accordingly try to answer some of those questions, you will get a fair idea as to how the question paper pattern and how the questions would be. And based on it, you should be able to score well. And when I say scoring, see, the maximum marks is 100. And as you have seen from the cutoff, if you get a 50 out of 100, then you will be one of the top rank holders, right? So if you want to get a decent score, when I say decent score, a 30 would be a very good score for you to get into some of the good institutes. So if you go beyond 40, then you are in one of the top institutions as such. So scoring is not very easy the other way around. So you will obviously have to work hard, and you also have to get used to the whole pattern of questions, and then you'll be able to do very well in the examination. Yeah. Any other question?
Sir, could you suggest some books that we could solve, sir, based on different topics?
What we can do is, I think you're already in the Telegram group, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you're in a Telegram group, if you're talking about mathematics, probably I can help you out. So if you can put in a message there talking about a particular topic, I can suggest you a particular book, corresponding book, so that you can prepare accordingly. Okay, because as you can see, there are so many different topics. So there is no one book which comprises all the topics as such, which covers all the syllabus. So if you talk about a particular topic, then I can probably suggest you a corresponding book as such. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other question?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, what about other subjects like physics, stats? Chemistry.
I didn't get your question.
What
Are
about
you
other
talking about
subjects? What about other subjects? Do you know any mentors about mentors information so that they can teach something to
okay.
physics, other subjects?
Okay. Sumitra ma'am, any
Yeah.
inputs from your side, ma'am?
Yeah. For chemistry, we have an academy coming forward, Bilwa Academy. Okay, they are ready to give online coaching for chemistry. And physics, we are tagged with National College. So whoever wants to take up, the coaching in physics can join National College. We'll send the brochure, everything. They charge, minimal amount. Okay, plus they give all the material, videos, all such things. So any coaching is only 10 to 20%. Everything depends on you, how you are, how much dedication you can put towards this.
Okay.
Are there separate groups for that, ma'am, where we can join and get that info? And
Yeah. Shortly.
Right now, you suggest all of you to be in the Telegram group itself. As madam said, whatever information we are going to get, we're going to post all the information in the same group, right, ma'am? So,
Yes.
Ma'am, do you have any information about that physics study material and what is the package?
Yeah, we are in, we are in talks with National College for this. I hope we get that also.
Okay, ma'am.
Physics, chemistry,
If
and
you get it-
mathematics.
Okay, ma'am. If you get it, kindly post it in the Telegram group.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
any further questions? It looks like we are done with all the questions. Ma'am, I think you can just take over and continue with the whole thing, because as I can see, we are already done with 53 minutes and the session is going on. Yeah, there is, I think, one question. I'll just answer that, ma'am.
Yeah,
can we get any
biotech.
help
Biotech.
Huh?
You may get orientation towards biotech. orientation could be done from the biotech department. But coaching, we have to talk to them.
Yeah, Kusuma, as madam was saying, initially we started off with mathematics. I think last year we could also go ahead with chemistry as well. So as time goes on, probably we'll be able to find some more resource persons who can definitely help you out in each of the topics. So let's see, if we get any information, we'll definitely post it on the Telegram group as such. Ma'am?
Yeah, so shall I go to my part now? Do we have to log out and again log in?
I do not think so, ma'am, because
I've
we have
taken
gone
the
beyond
time for
2 minutes
2
and the
hours.
recording is happening.
Yeah.
Then you can just go ahead, I think, ma'am.
Okay then. So, dear students, now let us go to preparation for mathematics in IIT JAM 2020. So I'll share the screen now. I think you have to stop.
Yes, ma'am, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Is my screen visible?
Not yet, ma'am. Yeah, I think it is blank, so I do not know. Yes, ma'am.
Has it come? Yeah. So welcome to the preparation for IIT JAM 2022 in mathematics. Yeah, so this is a year-wise cutoff for IIT JAM the last years in mathematics. See, you can see in 2020 it was 33.65, and in 2021 it has been reduced again. So it depends on overall performance. So shall we go to the next one? Yeah, syllabus for mathematics. So real analysis, we have sequences and series of real numbers. Then we have functions of one real variable. Then we have multivariable calculus and differential equations. The functions of 2 or more real variables, integral calculus, the differential equations. So whatever is there in the syllabus of your UG, that only will be coming for your IIT JAM. Then we have linear algebra and algebra. We have matrices. Then finite dimensional vector spaces. Then groups. So these are the syllabus. Now the syllabus is being reduced this year. They have removed some part of topology and metric spaces from the syllabus, from real analysis. So only these 3 main headings. Now let us take up some sample problems. So let us go to MCQs. So we have to find the value of this limit n going to infinity, 1 plus 2 by n whole power n square, 2 power e power minus 2n. So any one will be the answer. So let us see how to get the solution for this. Looks very simple. So let us start with the solution. So let us take the whatever value we have to find out on the LHS. So we have a limit n going to infinity. So I'm using ln and exponential. These two will get nullified. These two will get nullified. So we have put exponential natural log 1 plus 2 by n whole power n square minus this 2n as it is. So it's exponential outside. So then we have this expansion, this n square log of the power is taken outside here. Okay, so next we'll expand this log of 1 plus x expansion, that is this one. So x minus x square 1 by 2 plus x cube 1 by 3 minus plus etc. The last part, this one as it is here. Okay, now next step we are going to multiply this n square. So we'll take up n square multiplication inside. Yeah, multiply this n square. So we get 2n here. So 2n minus you have a square, so n square is going to get cancelled. We get 1, 2 also will get cancelled. We get 2 there. Plus you have 2 cube is 8, and you have 3n, that one as it is, minus plus etc. And the last outside we have minus 2n. So this plus 2n and minus 2n, you can cancel. Okay, now for the remaining, we'll take the limit n going to infinity. So n is in the denominator for all these terms. Okay, so they all vanish. So we get only this minus 2 remaining. So exponential of minus 2 will be the answer. So that is here. So the answer or the solution for this one is A. That is the first one, MCQ. Now we go to the second one. A matrix is given, a square matrix. So if I is the identity matrix of 2 by 2 order and 0 is the 2 by 2 0 matrix, then which one of the following is true? A, B, C, D. Okay, very simple. So what we do is we'll find the trace of the square matrix. So trace is nothing but the addition of the diagonal elements. That is the trace. Then we have to find the determinant of this. So determinant, we all know 2 by 2 matrix determinant expansion. That is nothing but minus 7 by 20. Then we have a formula for the characteristic equation. So the eigenvalue is being given by lambda square, trace of m lambda plus determinant of m. So substitute the trace and the determinant. Okay, this is the characteristic equation we get. Now I don't want this 20 in the denominator, so multiply throughout by 20. So this is the characteristic equation. And we know we have a theorem, Hamilton theorem, which says that every square matrix satisfies its own characteristic equation. So in the place of lambda, I can put m. So this is the solution. So which one is this? Just tally. So you have minus, that is this. So the option is B. We have the third one. Consider the region S enclosed by the surface bounded by the planes z equal to y square and z equal to 1, x equal to 0, x equal to 1, y equal to minus 1, and y equal to 1. We want the volume of that surface. So which one of these is the? Let us find. Now we have the volume given by integral dz, dy, dz, dx. So z limits, x limits, y limits. So z limits are these. Y limits are minus 1 to 1 and x limits are 0 to 1. So we can integrate this. This is a triple integral. And first we will integrate with respect to z. So we get z there. And integration of dz is z. So upper limit minus the lower limit. So you get 1 minus y square. Then integrate with respect to y. Okay, take the limits. So minus 1 plus 1. So upper limit minus the lower limit, we get 4 by 3. Then integrate with respect to x. So dx integration with respect to x is x. So upper limit minus the lower limit. So you get 1 there. So the answer is 4 by 3. So the required volume is this 4 by 3. The option is D, correct. Now they want the integrating factor of the differential equation. This is the differential equation. This is m dx plus n dy equal to 0. We have to check which one of these is correct. So we'll write m and n. So we have the dou m by dou y and dou n by dou x. Then the n 1 by n is dou m by dou y minus dou n by dou x. Substitute, simplify. So we get this. So 3 by that is the function of x. Then the integrating factor is nothing but e power f of x dx. So we have got 3 by x there dx. So 3 by x integration is 3 log x. So this 3 we can put as power for x. So x cube. E and log will get nullified. We get x cube. So the answer is C, x cube. So as simple as that. So next we have multiple select question, MSQ. So suppose alpha, beta, gamma, they are all real numbers. Consider the following system of linear equations. If the system has at least one solution, then which of the following statement is or are true? So MSQs. So more than one solution will be right. Okay. So these are the three linear equations. You have x plus y plus z equal to alpha, x plus beta y plus z equal to gamma. Then we have x plus y plus alpha z equal to beta. So we have to check first when the system will have at least one solution. So we have a theory which is telling that if the rank of the augmented matrix A is to B is equal to rank of the coefficient matrix A, then it will have at least one solution. So this is the A is to B matrix. So take the coefficients. The coefficients of the first equation x, y, z coefficients is 1, 1, 1. The second equation is 1, beta 1. The third equation is 1, 1, gamma. And B is alpha, gamma, and beta. So make some raw operations. That is how we find the ranks. So we are going to check if the rank of the augmented matrix is equal to the rank of the matrix A. So we are going to check the number of non-zero rows. Okay, so when we do some row operations, we get something like this. Now they have been given 4 options. We check one by one. So we'll take alpha equal to 1 and gamma equal to 1 in this. So gamma is 1. So if we put gamma equal to 1, you get this is 0. And alpha equal to 1. Yeah, so we get beta minus 1. Okay, so then we can see that the rank of this will be equal to rank of the augmented matrix. And then we'll take the second option, beta equal to 1 and gamma equal to alpha, and check the ranks of the coefficient matrix A and the full matrix A is to B. We'll check whether the ranks are same. Again with C and D. So we see that for A and B, the ranks will be the same. So therefore, we have at least one solution for A and B. So these are the 2 solutions for this MSQ. Now let us go to the following solutions. Yeah, so let me, one second, I'm not able to see that. Yeah. Consider the ordinary differential equation x into dy by dx plus y equal to x for x in between 0 and 1. Which of the following is or are solutions of the above? Okay, so this is a linear differential equation. So they have been given 4 answers. We have to check which one of these are right or is right. So now let us take up integrating on both sides. So we get xy equal to x squared by 2 plus c, where c is arbitrary constant. The general solution of this differential equation is y of x divided by x here. So you're going to get x by 2 plus c by x. Now we are going to check, for what values of c we are going to get a, b, c, and d. Okay. Now, suppose I put c equal to 0, I get y of x is equal to x by 2. So y of x is equal to x by 2. So I'm getting this. Okay. Next, for what value of c, I'm getting the next one, let us see. So if I put c equal to 2, I'm getting this. Y of x is equal to, in the place of c, it is 2. That is, I'm getting this b also. Then, if I put c equal to minus 2, so I'm getting another solution, that is c. Okay. And we have for no value of c, I can get y of x is equal to 0 because of this x. So, clearly, there is no value of c for which y of x is equal to 0. So the options are A, B, and C. These 3 are the correct choices. Now, a numerical answer type question. So let us take up. Consider the differential equation. Dy by dx plus 10y equal to f of x greater than 0, where f of x is a continuous function such that the limit of f of x as x tends to infinity is 1. Then the value of this is what? So This is a numerical type question. So MCQ, the multiple solutions will not be given. We have to get the solution and type the answer. So integrating factor, let us find the integrating factor. So what is integrating factor here? It is e power 10 dx. Okay, so dx integration is x, so it is e power 10x. So general solution, that's a linear equation. General solution is y into the integral integrating factor equal to integral of f of x, that is this on the RHS, into the integrating factor plus a constant of integration. So now I don't want this e power 10x on both. We'll divide by that. So we have that division here, and c divided by e power that is minus 10. It is called the numerator, so it is minus 10. So now we'll take the limit as x going to infinity. So this part, when I take x going to infinity, will go to 0. And this part I'm going to get, it is x going to infinity. So this is e power infinity is infinity. And again, I have e power 10x over there, so I get infinity. So it is infinity by infinity form. It is indeterminate form of infinity by infinity. So we have to differentiate. So limit x going to infinity, differentiate the numerator, differentiate the denominator. So when I differentiate, the integral sign will go off. So we get f of x e power 10x. Denominator, when we differentiate this, we get 10 into e power 10x. Right? And they have given what? They have given limit of x going to infinity f of x is equal to 1. That is this part is 1. So you can cancel this e power 10x, e power 10x. So you have 1 divided by 10. That is nothing but 0.1. So that is the solution. We have to enter that. So next we have from series and sequences. So yeah, let a1 equal to 0. a2 is 2 minus 1 by n for all n greater than or equal to 2. Then we have to find the summation n equal to 1 to infinity 1 by an square minus 1 by an plus 1 whole square. This converges to what? Okay, so let us take, let us call that as Bn. Let's call that as Bn. And we want the partial sum, right? Sn is from 1 to Bn. 1 to Bn. So we'll substitute for B1, B2, B3, etc. So what is B1? So in the place of 1, n, you put 1. So in the place of n, you're going to put 1. Okay, so that is our B1. This is B2, B3, etc. This is the last Bn. That is the partial sums Sn. Okay, that is Sn. So next we have, we'll simplify this. So we can easily see that 1 by a2 square, that is this, which is minus, you have plus 1 by a2 square, so these two will get cancelled. Similarly with this and this, so they all get cancelled. Only the first term and the last one will remain. So you have 1 by a1 square minus 1 by an plus 1 whole square. And what is an for all n greater than or equal to 2? Is this. So an is 2 minus 1 by n. So here I want an plus 1. So it is nothing but 2 minus 1 by n plus 1. So whole square as this. So a1 is 1. So 1 by 1 is 1. So 1 minus this. Now we'll take the limit of this. See, I've taken the partial sums up to n. That is n going to infinity. I'm going to get this summation. Right. So limit n going to infinity Sn is equal to limit n going to infinity Sn will substitute here. So n is going to infinity. So definitely this will go to 0. And you have 2 squares. So you go to get 4 there. So 1 minus 1 by 4. That is nothing but 3 by 4. The answer is 0.35. That is the LAT question again. Now we have another example here. So we have a function from the closed interval 0, 13 to r, the real numbers, defined by f of x is equal to this. The minimum value of this function in this interval is what? Okay, now clearly to find the minimum or maximum, what we do is we find the differential of the given function. So find the differential of that function. So f dash of x, just differentiate this. So x power 12 is 12 into x power 11. So any PU student can do this. Then you have minus e power minus x. There is one minus sign here. So e power minus is there. So minus 1 into minus will become plus e power minus x plus differentiation of 5x is 5 and differential of 6 is 0. And this is the function. Now, for all the values in this, so e power minus x is always positive, and this is also positive, this is also positive, and you have plus, the whole thing is positive. So, therefore, this function conclusion, whenever you have the first derivative is positive, okay, then the function is strictly increasing in that given interval. So what is the meaning of, strictly increasing? That means if A is less than B, then f of A will be less than f of B. That is the meaning of strictly increasing. So we have 0 less than 13, right? So f of 0 will be less than f of 13. And we don't have any number less than 0. So 0 is the least number, right? So the minimum value of the function is this f of 0. So in the function f of x, wherever x is there, put 0, right? Put 0. And we get, yeah. So in the function you put 0 here, okay? And this is also will become 0. This also will become 0, you get only 6. So f of 0 is equal to 6. That is the minimum value of the function. Okay, so these are some sample questions. So we'll stop now. So I've taken the easiest ones, just not to scare you people. And everything depends on your preparation. So how you are going to learn all the basic concepts and how you are going to apply them to solve such problems. Okay, so let us, yeah, thank you one and all. Any questions?
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, can you please say some reference books, ma'am?
Yeah, definitely. All the reference books and all those things, YouTube videos, all these things will be posted in the group. Everything will be posted in the group, and we are going to call for registration for mathematics coaching, and later for chemistry, then for physics. So all these things will be posted in the group. I request Narahari also to post all this available books, links, all such things. So everything depends on your UG syllabus. If you concentrate on your UG syllabus and focus on that, definitely you can go through this IIT JAM.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, yes. Any other questions, dear students? Last time we had, 22 students.
Just to add to what you said.
Yeah.
So particularly if you are in your first year BSc or UG program, then you stand a very good chance to take up the JAM examination when you go to your final year. So start working from now on. And as madam said, there are going to be many books for you to refer. So as long as you stay in the Telegram group, we'll be providing you sufficient information to go ahead with this. Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am.
Last year, no, in 2019, we had 2 students clearing this IIT JAM in mathematics. One fellow is Shiv Shankar, and one more fellow is Charan Raj. Okay, so we had 2 students clearing IIT JAM. Then last year coaching, we had 1 student out of 30, 22 registered, I think, no, Narahari? 22 registered, and out of those, 1 student got 50%. 50%,
yes,
but not our college student. He is from north. Yeah. Any other questions? So,
In fact, we'd be happy if some of you can share your feedback also.
Yeah. And these two recorded videos will be posted in the group along with the Google form of some questionnaire. So you can answer all those questionnaire and get e-certificate attached to it. And later when we call for registration, you can join.
Ma'am, coaching classes will be online or offline, ma'am?
Online.
Okay, ma'am.
Is there any other queries?
Question in the chat box, ma'am.
Yeah, we'll see the chat box. Yes. Now, is there any possible number of questions from separate chapters? Examples 7 to 9 marks from real analysis. Yeah, there is a book also. I'll post the link of that book. You can get all the solved question papers of the previous years.
Thank you, Ankita.
Yeah. So we'll wind up now. Okay. Then I thank Dr. Narahari for this wonderful session on the orientation towards IIT JAM. And I thank all the participants. And I hope you people register and pass this IIT JAM. So thank you, Anurag.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome, Dhanlakshmi.